another thing that you brought up was, number one top sellers. Now, this is a thing, like a topic with like any author. Like some authors are like really cold, they're green, they come into the environment. I want to be a number one New York Times top seller. I want to be in USA Today. I want to be in Amazon, and they have no clue or no idea what really goes on behind the scenes to kind of make that happen. So let's talk about that. I mean, let's start on like the low hanging fruit, like Amazon. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, you guys, I think any book that you would publish would be a number one top seller.
It
It's
is.
starting from Amazon. Is that not a true statement?
Yeah, that's a true statement. We have 100% success rate. There's never been a book we released that hasn't been a bestseller on Amazon, and it's no secret that the Amazon lists are not difficult to get onto if you understand what you're doing. If you know publishing, you know how to work categories. That is something that's very simple to do. Now, that's why we're here, is to be able to use our expertise to accomplish that. So a lot of authors come to us not knowing how to do that or not having the time to do it. I mean, they want a staff that can devote themselves to putting that on the list. So Amazon, which is a list that also updates hourly, and that's so you can be a bestseller and be on it for an hour. And that is not our model, because we have had Amazon bestsellers that have stayed in large categories, like for example, Sayuda's book, Next Level Cybersecurity. It was
Mm.
number one in network security for a year and a half. And that was a huge category, and that was on Amazon. So there can be very good value if you're on there for a while. But it's not as difficult, no, as the other lists. If you know what you're doing, if you know how to work the system and gain and work the algorithms. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, you're talking about gaming the system, you talk about algorithms and
Mhm.
going based upon Amazon. If you understand the categories, you understand the keywords, you understand what's the search
Yeah.
results for that particular category, you understand like the where the books are ranked, then you can become a number one top seller. So that's that
Yeah.
monster. So now if you're working more so in the New York Times space or in the USA Today space, it's similar algorithms, but obviously I think the strategy would be a little bit different. I mean, do
It's
you
very
mind talking
different.
about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's very different. Well, with the New York Times, we don't even really address it very much, because the New York Times list, and a lot of people don't know this, is an editorial list, purely editorial list. So it is not an aggregate of sales. The New York Times editorial staff votes on the lists, and the way that you get on the New York Times list is to get noticed. Many say that the way you get on the New York Times list is to publish from one of the old school New York publishing houses, and that really is true. That actually is a major bonus for you to get on that list.
Mhm.
But when you're talking about someone that's coming to me and as an author and saying, I have a goal of the New York Times bestseller list, I'm like, I will never sugarcoat it and guarantee that. It may happen if you are well known enough to get their attention, or if the book becomes successful enough to get their attention. But that's not what we concentrate on.
Mhm.
So then you ask about the more prestigious lists that aren't the New York Times lists, that are aggregates of sales, and that becomes Wall Street Journal and USA Today. And Wall Street Journal and USA Today do have very specific rules about how to reach bestseller status on them. It's not hard to research. An hour of research on Google will tell you that all you have to do is sell 6,000 books in the first week, and it has to be across multiple platforms. Now, that's easier said than done. When you're talking about the United States, nonfiction books average sales of 250 copies a year,
Mhm.
and you're talking about getting 6,000 in a week, that's a hump that you're going to have to get over. That's why you then talk to someone like Leaders Press and talk to someone like us. When you say, I have that goal, it is achievable. And it is achievable primarily through strategies towards how you're going to market it,
Mhm.
how you're going to market it to sell in multiple across multiple platforms. With us, we partner with Simon and Schuster, so that's also with getting you into bookstores, which helps with that immensely. But then it's also how you're going to build those pre-orders, and that's really kind of the secret to how it's done. You want to make sure that you have momentum heading into the launch week, in which those pre-orders are then unlock into very large numbers of sales that come in and get you on the list. And we've had books that have been as high, I believe Change the Story, Change the World, Morris Davidesco's book was number one on Wall Street Journal the week that it released, which was fantastic. I mean, it just did fantastically well. So we've been able to accomplish that. It's something that we can do. It's something that a lot of other hybrid publishers don't do, but we do have a very good success rate with doing it.